Hey, what's up, guys? So today I'm going to talk about why I think the PG era is finally coming to an end. For those that don't know, basically in the past few years, WWE has been more of a family-friendly oriented show, and for real wrestling fans, it's been pretty bad. I mean, very little has shined through in the past years. Very little has stood out as good in the past few years. It was bad enough where I actually stopped watching for a little bit. I only just started watching wrestling after I think a year. You know, about like a month, 2 months ago. It was like Raw's 1000th episode made me tune back in, and I've been watching since. But yeah, I mean, like, it made people who love wrestling like me stop watching for a little bit. And it was just terrible. So, why I think it's finally going to come to an end and we can get back to real wrestling, you know, whether that be more Attitude Era. I don't think they'll ever go back to that, but more like a 2002 to 2006. That's when I really liked WWE. I mean, Attitude Era was obviously my favorite era, but 02 to 06, you know, I think people call it the Ruthless Aggression Era. That's what I think we need to have back. But why I think it's ending? Well, number one, Linda McMahon, for those you don't know, is running for Senate, and a big thing is that she's, you know, of course, she's Vince's wife, so she pretty much has the entire WWE at her disposal. So she's trying to make WWE as family friendly as you know, as marketable, you know, as it can be to everybody. So people can't say anything bad about her and like, oh, your husband runs wrestling. Like, it's the evil of the world. So the election's next month, and if she loses, hopefully she's not going to run again. I pray to God she doesn't run again, because that would just be terrible for everybody, at least wrestling fans. So there's that. Another thing is that the ratings have been plummeting. Personally, I think John Cena, since he's been injured, his work on Monday, the last Monday, 2 days ago, and the Monday before Night of Champions, his mic work was probably the best it's been in a long time. I thought it was very good. I mean, it was nice to get a 2-week break from Cena, because when he came back last week, it was like, huh, he's not so, you know, because he wasn't shoved down our throats. You know, and that's what I think it is. I don't think anybody really even hates Cena for any reason other than he's shoved down people's throats. I mean, if he were, you know, I think it's time to take him off the face of the company, keep him there, you know, kind of like how towards the end of their days, Triple H, The Rock, Stone Cold, these guys were not the face of their company, they were there and they did stuff. You know, but you gotta understand that Cena's been in WWE for like 10 years now. That's not saying that he should leave anytime soon. Again, I like Cena. I don't love him and I don't hate him. I like him. You know, so I got way off topic there. So McMahon, hopefully she'll lose the Senate race, and the ratings have been plummeting. They're doing really badly, and Vince is now getting very angry about this. So he recently didn't fire, but he kind of gets demoted Brian Gerwitz. He was the head writer for Monday Night Raw for 10 years, I think, and well, now he's just a consultant. But the ratings have still been dropping, and Vince is very unhappy about that. And the other thing is that the wrestlers are no longer happy with this. A recent report by PW Insider, I'm going to read this for you guys. As we noted, Vince McMahon was upset at last night's Raw and told the writers that he needs results now or he needs resignations. The scene was described as frightening in terms of Vince's tone and demeanor. Besides pressure from NBC Universal to fix the ratings, it's said that last week's 2.5 rating was a big slap in the face to Vince after a number of top talents voiced their concern to him. A number of top talents have reportedly gone to Vince in recent weeks to complain about how bad the writing is and change is needed. At last week's Raw, Vince was in a bad mood after having a back and forth with one of the top talents in front of the other people. Let's see. We have not been able to confirm who the top talent is, but we were basically told that this top talent said in front of Vince, in front of a bunch of people, that WWE, the writing sucks, and that Vince is doing whatever he wants, and that WWE is going off a cliff without anything being done about it. The talent then told Vince that he needs to listen because he doesn't have his finger on the WWE's pulse anymore. He's basically telling Vince that he's out of touch. The talent told Vince that when WWE goes to hell in a handbasket, then it will be all of Vince's fault. So nobody is watching this, is buying this anymore at this point. You got the wrestling fans, the real wrestling fans, the marks, if you will. They're not happy with the product. You've got the ratings, which, you know, I guess you could signify as the rest of the wrestling crowd, the crowd who aren't really hardcore wrestling fans. They tune in and out every week. They're not happy, and now the superstars aren't happy. So, you know, what are you doing? Nobody's happy with this product. Nobody. The people giving you the product aren't happy, the people receiving the product aren't happy, and the loyal fan base of the product aren't happy. You know, so you have 3 different groups. Now, normally you can at least keep one of those groups happy. Well, actually 2. Technically, the wrestlers are normally pretty happy with the way things work, except for maybe WCW. So, like, what's going on? You know, and Vince, you know, of course, the reports are going crazy about how angry Vince is these days. He's very mad, very frustrated. I think it's because he's getting old, and I think he's trying to stay with the times. You know, he's trying to stay hip, but he doesn't know what hip is. It's like one of those stereotypical old people trying to, you know, I'm still hip, but by acting hip, they're acting worse than if they were acting normal. I feel like that's what it is, in a weird way. It's like he's thinking that this is what the younger audience wants. This is what the audience today wants. You know, like in the 90s, it made sense for Austin to be Austin. You know, it made sense for DX to be DX. It made sense because that audience, that's what they wanted. You know, and I think that that's just his attempt once again to try to do this. And it's not working. It's just not. So, whoever this top star is, I have a feeling it was Punk, but I don't know. Depends upon when this happened. If it happened before this past Monday Night on Raw, then yes, it probably was Punk. After Raw, maybe not so much, because he's kind of in hot water right now. So I don't think he would start an argument with Vince McMahon. Not even him. So yeah, I think the PG era is coming to an end. I think Linda's going to lose next month, hopefully, and change is needed. Everybody is saying it. Not even the fans, but the wrestlers themselves are unhappy with the work. I mean, and I want WWE to succeed, because to be honest, I don't watch TNA that much. I watch every now and then, but I don't know. Even though TNA has some really great guys like Rob Van Dam and Jeff Hardy, Kurt Angle, you know, people like that, I don't watch TNA that much. I just don't. I'm not feeling it. You know, I was like, ugh, I don't care. And with ROH, I don't watch ROH either, because there's not really a good way to watch ROH without paying another $10. I think you have to pay. I think you actually have to like subscribe to them, and they'll actually like let you watch their shows. Otherwise, their YouTube channel will show them to you like a month later. I mean, who wants to watch shows a month later? It's like I don't care enough. You know, if ROH was a bit more accessible to me, I'd probably watch it. But, so it's like, WWE is really all I watch in terms of wrestling. So, I want them to succeed. You know, what they really should do, in my opinion, is bring back the brand warfare. Now, I don't watch that much SmackDown, because all SmackDown is like the same matches that you saw on Raw. It's like, you only, like, the SmackDown superstars wrestle on Monday Night Raw. Like, you won't see, like, CM Punk or Raw superstars going to SmackDown, but Sheamus is on Raw every week. So what's the point of having 2 world champions? You know, so, but what I think they should do is split the brands up, do a big draft, you know, do what they did in I can't remember what year. Well, after a while it all starts to blend. But, you know, the original lottery with Vince and Ric Flair, do that. You know, I know they're having issues with bringing Flair back. I've heard that they're trying to make him a GM, but because of TNA, they're having issues with contracts. But, you know, bring Flair back, and then keep Booker T. So have Booker T on SmackDown, have Flair on Raw as the general managers. Both of them are likable wrestling veterans who know how to work on the mic, and maybe once in a blue moon, you know, the general manager can be like, yeah, I'm gonna get in the ring. You know, I know Rick's retired, but you know, one match might not kill him. I hope. So, you know, bring Flair and Booker T, have them do the draft. Ric Flair on Raw, Booker T on SmackDown. You know, and then have that brand warfare. Do what you did with the tag titles a few years ago. We once again unify the World Heavyweight and WWE Championship, because that spinner belt is really starting to annoy me. It was cool when Cena had it, you know, because that was his gimmick. But once Cena lost the title, and like you saw like guys like Triple H wearing that belt, and I think 09 is when he won the belt last. I don't really remember. Maybe it was 11 actually, even, I don't know. But seeing Triple H with that WWE Championship, the spinner belt, it's, oh god, it just didn't look good at all. You know, it's like the same thing with CM Punk. Is like CM Punk would not walk around with that terrible spinner belt. It's just not in his character. It doesn't make any sense why he has it. So, yeah, that's what they need to do. They need to have brand warfare, unify the world title, and have the champion go from show to show. Because you know what? If there's brand exclusivity, I think that's the right pronunciation. If they have that, then I'll watch Raw and SmackDown. And then like have WWE Superstars, have that be interpromotional. You know, have a Raw match and a SmackDown match, or don't, or just, you know, do what you used to do. Have Superstars for one, and then have main event be for the other show. You know, something like that, like kind of like how they used to have Raw and Heat, and they had SmackDown and Velocity way back in the day. That would be a great idea, and that's what they should do. Because it gets boring after a while. It's like remember in the days when, like, every now Sheamus, he shows up every Monday night on Raw. It's not a big deal to see him on Raw. Remember back in the day when there was brand warfare and Triple H was the World Heavyweight Champion? Like, if he showed up on SmackDown, or if the WWE Champion, whether it be JBL or whoever, showed up on Raw, shit got real. It's like, holy shit, certain guy is on Raw. Like, that was really cool. And the whole draft lottery thing, it's great because it really excites people. You know, it draws ratings. So that's what I think they need to do. So hopefully the PG era is over, and hopefully that's what they'll do with WWE in the future, because right now it's a failing product. Nobody likes it. And that's really all I gotta say about that. You can follow me on Twitter in the bottom description. Also include links to ugrgaming.com. Please support me there. I really appreciate it. And that's really all I gotta say. So leave a comment. Let me